Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today I'll be taking a look at Conor Stechschulte's new one-man anthology, Crepusculine #1. I'm a huge fan of Stechschulte's work from the first issue of Generous Bosom. That book really blew my mind. I enjoy the artwork throughout the later three, but like the veer that the story took wasn't for me. And also really enjoyed, I think it's called The Amateurs, was another Stechschulte book. So an artist I really enjoy, someone who's always doing interesting things with print and preparing the artwork for print. This is volume 2, so I guess those other stories probably were in Crepusculine volume 1. And this is Vacuum part 1. I don't know if there's going to be other stories that show up in the Crepusculine or if it's all going to be the Vacuum. I'm not sure. But you get like pretty much the premise. Vacuums are terrible sounding because what would want to consume so much so quickly? It's the most American device. Slurp the mess and eat the fatty tissue. And it's a quote from Molly Colleen O'Connell. And then we jump into the story itself. You can see it's just really beautiful artwork here. This looks like it was all done with an ink wash, and then for some reason converted to like a halftone, like a more obvious halftone dot, a bigger dot that you can see. And then I think this book is printed as a risograph, so maybe that's just the like filtering that they use to get the images into the risograph. But it's very intentional. It's not like something where I'm saying, oh, I can see the halftone dots and so it's a poorly printed piece. Like, it's obvious that it's done at a coarse enough grain that you're supposed to see it. It's supposed to be part of the look of the book. And I do think it works really well, like on this scene where you're looking at this huge suburban sprawl and you've got all these lights going and it needs to sparkle, having the dots visible rather than at 300 or 600 dpi or something where you can't see them. That makes it kind of glitter. It gives an optical effect, and that carries over throughout the rest of the art. Like, it's kind of this like sparkly nighttime quality to the artwork that's really lovely. So you see there's these people, they're in suburbia, they're sneaking into someone's window here. They're gonna like tape them into the room and gas them out, basically, is what's going on. And then this is a very short book, so I can't really talk about it without giving away spoilers, but there's not much to spoil, I don't think. They're kidnapping these people. They take them away in the middle of the night, and that's really, kind of the story. Is just this opening scene of these people being kidnapped with this very, very evocative and beautiful artwork. And in the back of the book, you get a next time, which shows some of the sketches that have been made for the book. I like that as a next time. There's not enough to actually show you yet. And then there's a more 3-4 color risograph print in here. So that just looks like Conor Stechschulte playing around with the technology and seeing what can be done, which makes me excited that there might be some more color work. So really enjoyed it. Don't know where the story's headed. It looks like maybe we've got a screen print on the front, because it looks like we've got white ink printed on the colored paper. So that looks like maybe a screen print there. Quite lovely. Also in this order, I got some of these big like newsprint size pieces that Conor Stechschulte does. I'm going to have a hard time showing on screen, but they're a really interesting way to think about comics. So you can see this one here. It folds open and then has a bunch of like poetry on the inside, basically. It's like the sound of winds as a car is on a highway, the sound of the wind in the... So that's what it is, just a bunch of like the sound of the wind for you to think about. So someone who's thinking like about comics more abstractly, someone who's thinking about them in a lot of different formats, makes Conor Stechschulte really exciting artist for me. Here's a look at this one. Someone that's working in the medium I love, that's pushing it further. And then this one here, you see came with a poster. So like there's a relationship between the poster, what the poster is saying, and then what's being shown in the artwork, which I think is also a really fascinating way to think about comics as like something that you could paste up on a wall. I don't know how you get it off without damaging the art, but that's an interesting idea to me. that you could go paste a poster on the wall and then someone could take it and have a comic on the back. So some really interesting stuff going on in these big newsprint experiments that Conor Stechschulte is doing. Someone that I think is going to continue to play and push the medium, and that excites me. So I'm looking forward to Crepusculine #2. House on Fire by Matt Battaglia is a just gorgeous book where Matt's kind of making an emotional response to the years of COVID and wrapping that into a sci-fi dystopian future that really the sci-fi dystopian's backgrounded, and you're focused on the emotional journey of two characters in a really beautiful way. And then that's enhanced by Matt's like really awesome, loose, kind of Paul Popish dry brush work. And then Sean and Matt have worked to get this second kind of orange spot color in there that's going to look really, really beautiful, and has allowed Matt to use his dry brush technique to add tone to the thing too. So with Sean's production technique, this is going to be a gorgeous book with a lot of heart.